All right, we are live. Wonder if CW got calls. I think he did say that he had.
100%. Tdoc is in and out like 10 times a day, so.
It's just strictly trading the SPY.
Yeah.
I'm sitting with my bowls on the SPY, so can't complain.
I tried to. My workstation crashed just at the wrong moment, as it usually likes to. I only had like $50 to.
In usual fashion.
In usual fashion, yeah. That's why I want to get that bloody graphics card back, and then
It's time to short.
buy a computer.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. We're just doing a power hour stream. I'm gonna have to head out right afterwards, but I figured it would at least be nice to spend a little bit of time with you. So far, we've got quite a few tickers being played right now. I've set up a new watch list to show what active squeeze plays I'm paying attention to, since I get asked quite a lot. If there's anything that's not up here, then it's probably not. I'm just not actively paying attention to it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not trading it. I just wanted to have these here for any active squeeze plays. So the star of this show right now is actually System 1 Inc. This is a ticker that ran like crazy a few days ago. The thing had been on a tear going from mid-January all the way up through till April, and then all of a sudden it squeezed big time. What was interesting was that the net number of shorts increased on this day. So I wanted to highlight some of the due diligence that was done on this stock because it's actually pretty interesting. And I wanted to shout out Tropicalia in the Discord for pointing this out to me. He's been pretty persistent trying to get this in front of me. So I'm finally here to talk about it. I'm finally feeling pretty convinced of the due diligence that was done on this stock. So interestingly, this stock ticker it's actually a SPAC, Special Purpose and Acquisitions Company. The thing with SPACs is that they're extremely confusing and the data on them is never really good, so it's a difficult play to make a judgment call on when you're getting in early. But Ortex has kind of provided some clarity on it. And what we suspect is going on is this stock has been extremely heavily shorted. It's actually technically a micro float, but it's not certain what the float is currently because of the S1 dilution. And what I suspect bears have been counting on, and this due diligence comes from Penny Ether. I was reading through this thread. Oh, let me show it on my screen here. I was reading through this thread on SST. Penny Ether posted this the day before it made its run up to a high of, I think it was 35. It was high of 37, actually. So, yeah, the call chain on this one went wild just before the run. And interestingly, there were shorts in this that got absolutely hammered. But by the time that the big move came, the net number of shorts actually increased. But in any case, what was most interesting was the failures to deliver on this one, which is part of what I'm going to highlight. So failures to deliver on this thing were absolutely ridiculous. So whoever's been negotiating these short positions has been failing to deliver on these for a while, and this stock is still on the threshold list even now. So that means that these FTDs must at least be at this level or above. The stock qualified to enter the threshold list on February 28th. That's the point where it hit at a minimum 0.5% of the total outstanding shares on the that had failed to deliver on the stock. And this spike occurred just in the 2 weeks leading up to the squeeze. Interestingly enough, the short interest only declined very briefly and then increased massively once the stock returned to normal. And now it's meeting resistance at the $14 and $15 price levels. What also got my attention was the cost to borrow is exorbitantly high. I've rarely seen it get this high. It's only happened a few times. In addition, the float is not exactly clear, but there has been dilution on this stock, at least a little bit. We're estimating that there could be like a maximum of 65 million shares or so trading in this stock. But after some pretty incredible due diligence by some of the Reddit community on this stock, only about 7 million have entered into the float. And this stock is pretty well occupied by institutions that are long on the acquisition. So going a little bit further into this, I want to look at some of the some of the truly ridiculous numbers that got my attention from ScourgeBot. So again, this is our gamma squeeze chart that shows the potential gamma ramp based on the float, which would be in the money at a given strike price, and then the strike price down here on the x-axis. So the higher up the market price goes, the higher strikes that are in the money, and the more of the float goes in the money based on the open interest of those strikes. And currently, we're sitting at a market price of just under $14, at which point 100% of the float goes in the money according to this figure. Now, this is a little bit skewed because the float according to ScourgeBot from our data provider that we're using is only 2.5 million, which we know is not accurate anymore. It's at least 6 million, but maybe as high as 7 million. So we would have to divide this by 3 just to be on the safe side. So 50% or 55% we'll say currently. Oh, my calculator is crashing for some reason. How sad is it that Windows Calculator app crashes? So if we multiply the float by 3 times, or if we simply divide the in-the-money float by 3, here, this number that you see on the left-hand side, that puts us at about 19% of the float, roughly, or 18.5% to be exact. So as soon as we make the jump up to $14 strike, then that increases significantly to 34% of the stock in the money. So we see this rapidly getting out of hand. I would like for our data provider to update the numbers, but with this being a SPAC play, it's very difficult because none of the data providers are saying the same thing. They're all over the place. Ortex seems to be the closest to accurate, but it does seem to be overestimating the float a little bit. If we take Ortex's number with full trust, then we're estimating that about 12 million shares are in the float. And that puts the current short interest at 35.5% or 36% roughly. If we see that the float is actually 6 or 7 million, then this increases to about 50 to 60% of the stock's float being shorted. Combine that with 50% of the float being in the money after the stock reaches $14.5, and you start to see that this is creating a supply crisis. So I'm going to take a look at some of the data from Ortex to just look at this a little bit closer, and I also want to take a look at the heat map from ScourgeBot. Currently, we've got quite a bit of options interest going on this week that's about ready to expire. Anything that's $14 and below should be in the money, ideally. But what we would like to see is for most of these options to run in the money at a comfortable margin of $16, so that it safely puts all of these May 20th expiration calls at least $1 in the money. But this is actually a very valid squeeze play. I'd put it on par with ATER, as a matter of fact. And this one can actually make moves similar to what DWAC did, just based on the interest in the short interest versus what retail buying was causing. It's just a matter of whether there can be that much euphoria and retail faith in this stock, because DWAC was different in that it was a political play. It was heavily influenced by political demographics and ideology, as well as a need for a newer social media platform, or at least an outcry for a new social media platform. With this one, with this being a SPAC, it's mainly being played with by institutions that are positioning themselves. So it's hard to say what direction this can go, but I can definitively say that the stock's interest, as far as the put call ratio, is definitely leaning back towards the bulls camp. And since the stock is trading currently at around $14 right now, there's a lot of call options that are dangerously close to in the money, combined with a bunch of shorts that have been in their positions for a long time and are currently well underwater. I'd say that any of these shorts that are still in their positions here, if they didn't get squeezed out during this big run-up, they're probably feeling pretty nervous that it's going to bounce again. I'm looking at a couple of numbers here. Interestingly enough, the Ortex short interest was actually estimated below the exchange reported short interest in the stock on April 14th. Just noticed that. So whatever was going on here, there was a whole bunch of new shorts that entered into positions on March 16th. And a lot of them, I suspect, got squeezed out based on what the average days on loan did. So new shorts came in mid-March, and were holding their positions up until this big squeeze happened, and then a whole bunch of them exited and renegotiated positions at the top. So probably shorts down here got squeezed out once it reached this point, and then new shorts came in and helped push it down, and then they covered on their way on the way down. At which point the age returned back to the average that it was at back here in early March. So the age of these loans at April 20th reflects some of the shorts that were in their positions before March as having stayed there. Or maybe just a balance of new shorts that are holding for the long term combined with some of the shorts that were holding back before April. And then a whole bunch of new shorts added positions as of April 21st. And they've been trying to push the price down recently, but having limited success. And as you can see, since we're still on the threshold list, there's a considerable amount of risk for shorts because they could be recalled. They could have their shares recalled at any time. And if they fail to deliver, then FINRA can knock on their door and force them to cover, or they can call their broker and have them force recall the shares and pull them out of their portfolio and force a market purchase, margin calls and so forth. So this is a legitimate squeeze opportunity. I think this is being played by hedge funds less than market makers. I don't see market makers getting as involved because the short exempt ratios and the short exempt interest, or short exempt volume, I should say, isn't quite as outrageous as it's been on some of the other plays that I've called out. Okay, I'll catch up with everybody in chat. BRQS, yeah, I know everybody wants to know about BRQS. We'll go take a look at it really quickly. So BRQS is still trading a little bit down from its recent highs, but it did rebound. So this big stop loss hunt that occurred yesterday during the midday was I caught a buy. I got a limit fill back here up near 39.5 cents. So I'm a little bit down on my cost average, but that's okay. I'm still holding. I just wasn't expecting a stop loss hunt to hammer it all the way back down here to the supporting trend level so suddenly. But if you did catch this, then you could have gotten fills early on this morning, and that would have been a really great buying opportunity because we were bouncing off of these supports here. These are very strong support levels at 31 and 32 cents. And as you can see, the whoever was playing this, whoever probably caused this stop loss hunt, also was probably involved in filling up on shares during this period. There's actually there's a lot of volume that was negotiated between these levels of 32 and 35 cents. So whoever crushed retail here probably loaded up here. That is my thinking. So anyway, we're back above our support at 35 cents now. So this is going to consolidate for a while and then probably bounce back up to the 40s, and we might see it surge back up over the next couple of days. Probably by Tuesday, I'm thinking we'll start to retest the upper bounds of this channel. If we go back into this channel, then that would be ideal. But I'm going to go ahead and readjust it now rather than wait. Okay. So we'll be patient for that one. ATER. Let's catch up with ATER. Nice consolidation. I like the look of this. So it's consolidating on a even level of volume on the 5-minute today. On the 2-hour chart, it's kind of resembling a wonky inverse head and shoulders, or an even weirder looking cup and handle. Where are my shapes? So here's the cup shape, and you have a handle that's kind of got a long tail. It's a little bit of a strange pattern. I don't really see this too often, but it is consolidation. What we're looking for ATER to do is get back above this trend line and start to make its move upward. But it is being held down by something. Volume's not come into it just yet. The MACD crossed over. I think it's just a delayed response. It's so weird to see the histogram so flat here. It's a weird chart pattern, I gotta say. It's a very weird chart pattern. But by all accounts, it does look like a bullish one. So we're just waiting for it to break out of this wedge. CRXT manipulation is superb today. Let's take a look at it. It's still consolidating. We're early yet. The whole of the trading floor is very early yet. It's still holding up its support right here at 75 cents. This is whatever is going on here. This is the load up zone for whoever's been trying to get their hands on all of these shares. Let's take a look at this on the 2-hour chart and see what the OBV is doing. Definitely accumulating. Bet you anything that the OBV stays on this trend line. I'll bet you anything that once the volume comes back into the stock, the OBV is going to do something to touch this. I've been analyzing OBV more and more lately, and I'm starting to see patterns in it the same way that I've seen patterns in stock price in the pricing chart. Alex Bozgolov, thank you very much for the $5. Really appreciate that, dude. Cheers. Thanks, homie. It will go to good use. I'll make sure I buy a nice chili IPA later on with that. Where is a good buy point for Rdbx? I can't really tell you. I can't really tell you what are good buying prices. It's kind of dangerously close to financial advice. But if I look at the trend, I see that there's support at $3.40 or so. So if it gets rejected here and comes back to the bottom of this triangle before a breakout, then it might you might get a fill at as low as like 340. Risk below that would be about $3, just based on the previous volume and resistance levels. If you do a volume shelf, you can kind of get a decent idea of where those levels are at. Lots of buying happens down here at 340. And a lot of selling happened up here at 380. It almost touched 415 back on yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So this one's been in consolidation, which is a very good sign. You like to see the consolidation and the slow build upwards. Just give this one time, but I don't think you'll have to wait for very long. This one's starting to show signs that it's about ready to make a breakout. It's been dancing across the top of this wedge for a long time now, going on 4 days. So pretty soon. Let's take a look at BBIG as well. Thank you, I22I. I think that's your name. Appreciate the $6.66. Thank you so much. Hey, if you guys don't mind, be sure to drop a like if you're enjoying the stream, and go ahead and tweet out the link to this stream so that anybody else who you'd like to see what other kind of plays we're working on, if you want to share that due diligence and get them in here, be sure to share the link to this stream. And if you're interested in getting ahead and seeing the due diligence happening in real time, be sure to check us out on Hell's Trading Floor. That's discord.gg/Hell's Trading Floor. Oh shit, Scott, thank you very much for the $20. For the not financial advice over the past few months, I've become a more confident investor. That's good to hear, dude. I'm glad that you're getting more and more confident in your trades. Hopefully they've been more and more profitable as well. So let's take a look at BBIG since I'm here. I forgot to add this one to the active squeeze plays list. I just created this watch list, so give me time to catch up. So BBIG is starting to come up on the tip of this wedge. I have loaded up into my positions. I've been feeling like BBIG is getting ready to make its run very soon. I'm hoping for an announcement to catalyze everything and send it ripping towards the stratosphere. So the big DD on BBIG, if you're not familiar with this ticker, this is Vinco Ventures. This is a capital investment and venture capital firm. They basically make their money by acquiring other companies and investing them into those so that they can become profitable and building a portfolio of profitable businesses. Currently, BBIG is getting ready to release a spin-off share offering through their crypto service called Cryptide. They've also got a pretty unique social media platform called The Motif, which is it's kind of like TikTok in a lot of ways. You basically share content, and you're able to get paid by your supporters and followers through your content subscriptions. It's a pretty cool platform. I could see that being extremely attractive for up and coming artists and anybody that's doing music or graphic arts and design. And right now, BBIG has been consolidating in this $2 to $250 zone, which below $2 every single time that BBIG has consolidated that low, it ended up making a run and then squeezing very suddenly every single time. And right now, BBIG is doing a very similar setup to what it was doing back in August of 2021 after this downtrend here. So had that big squeeze and then a rapid cool off and then a run up and then cool off again before it finally ran up to a all-time high on the 8th of September at, what was this, $12.49. Helping out somebody at work over here on the side. Sorry about the wait. Let's catch up with chat. I just want AMC to run above at least $72 to prove it can still squeeze. I hear you, dude. With the stock price this low, there's probably not a trigger for margin call. It would need to gamma squeeze first before a short squeeze. If you're talking about SST, I could see the case for that, given that the price moved up to $37.50 and didn't really short squeeze. Short squeezes are definitely one of those situations where it needs to slowly run up and put more and more pressure on shorts over time. But it does seem to be doing that. That's the thing. See, most of the shorts got there have been shorts in as early as like $12, $12.50 that have been holding since the SPAC IPO'd. And they came in guns blazing from the IPO, and a lot of shorts pushed it down here. So some have been holding onto it since the beginning of the year. And I mean, to be fair to the bears, I mean, it was a very bearish market when we opened up in the year. It was one of the worst years for the stock market since New Year's. Normally, January is a very bullish month, but that wasn't the case. But SST defied all of that bearish pressure and held up, and it made a run up to $17 before bears pushed it again, and they've been shoving it down ever since then. So what I find interesting is that it's still basing below this $14 level, and it just can't. It neither can seem to break over it, but neither is it breaking down below. And I know that most of the shorts want this thing below $13 if they're going to pull out any kind of real profit. Any of the shorts that got in the top here, they've probably exited. They probably took that money and ran. But there's still a lot of volume that I think has yet to come into the stock here. So let's extend out our volume shelf. You see how much volume is trading at these two levels here, between below 14 and above 14. Almost all of it's right here. So there's a lot of loading going on here. The green bar on the horizontal volume shelf, this is the buying, the orange is the selling. You can kind of see the OBV doing some divergence as well. This is what we call bullish divergence on the on-balance volume. This is telling you the same thing that this is, just with a line graph instead of a bar graph. All right. Hey, what's my next expiration on ATER? I think I got May 20s. Yeah, May 20s. I averaged down on those a little bit, but it's not. That's not to say that ATER will squeeze by that time. I just give myself as much time as I can, and the May 20s were cheap enough given the volatility that it seemed like a reasonable pick. Tax77, thanks for the $10, dude. I'm sick of people online saying AMC has to squeeze. It is a real possibility that it may not. I'm not selling, but I am running out. I'm running of reasons to be optimistic. Running out of reasons to be optimistic, I think, is what you're trying to say. It's it is a fallacy of people who are in an emotional trade to say that something has to happen. Nothing has to happen, but I would also argue that the bulls are correct on AMC. The stock was targeted by malicious hedge funds and played with by market makers and brokers, and there's evidence to support that brokers do not have all the shares that they are supposed to collateralize their inventory. Let's actually look at AMC where it is trading at right now. AMC has been consolidating down to $14 or $15 for a long time. It's been hovering at this level since January, at the beginning of the year. And the thing is I have looked at multiple brokers, Interactive Brokers or IBKR, and Fidelity have been sending out messages to their investors specific to AMC and GameStop shares that they are not transferring them or they cannot permit transfers to DRS services. And that's quite telling because DRS services requires that the shares actually be delivered with proof of paper certificates. And that's why these transfers aren't taking place, because all of the shares are digital. So Fidelity and Interactive Brokers are two of the largest brokers, with IBKR primarily servicing the EU. They're both having problems with transferring shares out of the brokerages specifically to CompuShare. And that's a significant piece of evidence. There's something additional that was brought to my attention today by Soldier of Fortune in the Discord. He sent me a recent letter from the SEC saying that they were holding Fidelity in default. The Fidelity is now in default as a transfer agent, meaning that because Fidelity has not provided their proper forms and filings to the SEC in regards to their inventory, specifically what are called TA1 and TA2 amended forms, they were not filling these out properly. This has been going on since 2018. And because of these failures, the SEC is holding Fidelity in default. Now, what I find really frustrating about this is that it took until just yesterday. This is what happened yesterday, is the SEC is holding Fidelity to account for all of its failings to submit the proper filings on time back in 2018, which is ridiculous. In addition, they claim to have had trouble getting a hold of people at Fidelity when their headquarter building is there's one of their headquarter buildings that they could have reached was 6 miles away from their office. There was no excuse for why it took so long for the SEC to put the screws to Fidelity. They just simply chose not to. And the thing is that Fidelity the executive that the SEC was trying to get in touch with at the time was actually speaking and responding to the SEC, but simply just never sent the forms. He said, yeah, I'll get to it, and then never did. And it's really, really frustrating. Captain Insano, I see your message here. Upcoming SST corporate action. We have temporarily disabled online trading of SST. This could be due to a type of corporate action like a stock split. Excuse me?
Yeah, it was JJK Funnyman that posted it, and he's saying that they ain't letting him purchase on public. With that message.
Interesting. All right. Well, thank you for the heads up. That's very interesting. Well, hopefully this doesn't turn into a Gree rub pull, but Let's see what happens here. BBIG breaking out. Thanks, Chef. Hello. Come on, ring a ding ding. Send me this alert. I want to see it.
I just want to point out Spy on 5 Minute had a doji followed by a shooting star. Those both are signs of weakness, if not a reversal. So for any people long or people that may want to go short on it, just have a look. Might be a good time. Not financial advice, of course.
Thanks, Verde. All right, let's see. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Rdbx is doing pretty well today. I've been paying attention to Rdbx for a short squeeze as well. This one has more than 50% short interest, I want to say. Let me double check that. Go look at my Vortex here. David Lawrence wants me to look at UAVS. I'll take a look at it next. Tdoc after that. For Joshua. Okay. Yes, I definitely want to shout out DM Calls, who is somebody else you might know, but I'm not sure if he wants me to say. But definitely a good trader. The dude does some incredible due diligence. So short interest of free float on Rdbx has been increasing for well over 2 years now. The short interest is ridiculous, and there's been no dilution on the stock at all. So since a whole bunch of shorts are doubling down on their positions after this point, so currently the short interest here was 817,000. Now we're at 1.3 million. So nearly 500,000 shorts got into their positions after the price collapsed below $5.15. So any price above $5 is a big problem for shorts. They should be nervous. What I found so interesting about this due diligence was that the company was fundamentally undervalued in terms of its equity. I believe that there was some mention of debts that were against it, so it does have quite a lot of liabilities. But the company, Rdbx, it has quite a lot of equity and assets to its name as well. And now that they're breaking into streaming services, which I just learned this yesterday, the streaming services that they offer are one-time rentals for movies, which is it's got a big advantage over Netflix because Rdbx is able to rent out movies to individuals, and pretty much everybody these days in the developed world has internet access, can rent and stream movies to their PCs or their TVs, and Netflix doesn't offer that. And additionally, Netflix is losing market share because because of its own self-sabotage with deciding to go to an advertisement model with ads in movies, which I'm so shocked that they even considered that a good idea. It's completely backfired against them. But in any case, Rdbx is now testing the upper bounds of this gap that it created. And yeah, I would say that if Rdbx actually broke out above $5, shorts should be shitting their pants, because the number of shorts that got in after that point are all pretty much underwater. Vast majority of them are underwater. Like, look at how many of these shorts that got in at below $2. That's a difference of 1 million. Oh, I'm sorry, not 1 million, 100,000. But and on top of that, this cost to borrow average. So all of the new shorts that are getting into their positions are paying this ridiculous fee. So there's a lot of reasons not to short this thing. I'm surprised not to see it on the threshold list. But I also see the security lending volume is rapidly rising as well. Ooh, now this is interesting. I didn't look at the on loan compared to the short interest. Yeah, look at this. The on loan is nearly nearly 500,000. Almost nearly 500,000 higher than the short interest, which tells me that market makers are struggling to try and keep this one under control as well. I'm going to go take a look at the inspect sheet from ScourgeBot. I'm going to take a look at that and see what ScourgeBot says. Looking at a few other tickers as well, but we'll take a look at those later. Okay, let's catch up with Chad. I promised Joshua to look at Tdoc, Tdoc Health Inc. Interesting. Wow, that one got pummeled. Big gap down and a huge... That's interesting. Their net expenditure and net income have steadily been increasing. Or I should say their expenditure has been decreasing and their revenue is increasing. And their net income is getting closer to break even. So I don't see a bear case for this. I wonder if this was a load up zone for a big hedge fund. What was the earnings?
Vortex.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Ace. Appreciate it. Meant to be looking at this. Okay, so Tdoc. This one gapped down pretty hard. How long has this been on the NYSE? Long time. Interesting. Okay, this one was at a low. Where did it hit the low? 28.75. Let's see where that is. All right, the last time that it was at this price, I said 28.75, didn't I? Yeah, last time that it went this low was here. Got as low as $9.35. Interesting. Wow. Look at all those death crosses. I have to wonder what's going on with the company, but it is selling off. Like, it is selling off big time. Now, could it turn around? Yes, totally. But I would definitely give this one time. This company is getting smashed right now. I don't know what's going on with it, fundamentally speaking. Weak Q1 results in ratings cuts.
Cappy Wood just invested into that too, and every time she does, it seems like they gun for anything she picks.
Somebody does not like her.
No,
I'm thinking that
really don't.
I'm thinking that Wall Street is actually trying to ruin her.
I think you're not wrong. I've been thinking that for a while. literally anything she touches. It's almost like when Matt tries to trade Tesla. It's like somebody's listening and they're like, get it.
That's really sad to see. I would honestly stay out of it. I'm not going to trade this one. This is I don't know when Kathy Wood took her position, but
It was literally today or yesterday.
literally yesterday. So anything she touches, wow, holy shit. All right. If you have access to unusual whales flow, I would set some alerts on this one. Watch for it to consolidate and find its base of support. Make sure that you give it time. And if you do believe in this company to take a long position in it, it's going to need time to recover from this. This was a painful sell-off, and it sounds like Kathy Woods was being targeted specifically for this. So, if it will run at all, I suspect it'll be once she announces her exit to the SEC. Wow, that's fucking brutal. All right. Let's see who else. UAVS I was being asked about. AG Eagle Aerial Systems. Okay. Penny stock. Heavy trading volume early on in April last year. Squeezed. It looks like starting in December. Squeezed with GameStop. And then it sold off ever since. Stocks returned to normal, so let me take a look at the Ortex and see if there's anything interesting going on here. But it looks like it's going on and finding a base of support. UAVS. Somebody also wants a stab update, which is a hilarious thing to say in a sentence. All right, 12% short interest of free float. Shorts crushed it, piled in at the peak of June 14th, and they've been slowly covering ever since and getting out of their positions. But it definitely looks like it's kind of hit a bottom. I would give it more time. This is not one that I would trade just yet. It's not like it's going to just suddenly turn around overnight unless there's some fundamental catalyst that would give this reason to. I do see there's a lot of failures to deliver. It was on the threshold list for a brief period of time back in March. Security lending volume is fading, so short interest is fading. Utilization is getting close to max. I would give it time. If you're playing this one for a bullish play, if anything, I would sell covered calls on this one. If you have shares, I would sell deep out of the money covered calls, and if I was holding this stock, or selling puts to accumulate a position. So you could sell straddles. And try to accumulate shares with the puts while also collecting premium from the calls. And I think that would be a valid strategy if you're holding a base of shares on this one. Let's see. Are there options on this ticker, actually? I didn't even think about that. Okay, there are. Yeah, you could sell. They're not worth much because it's below $1 right now. Yeah, hard to collect premium on this one. I would just wait. I would just wait for it to show signs of a turnaround and then take a position. I wouldn't add anything or grab a position here until I saw it had found a base of support, consolidated, and then turned around. It hasn't quite turned around, but it looks like it might soon. Stab update. Lots of talk about Stab. Stab is doing a phenomenal thing from what I heard. Made a run last night. Yeah, a little bit of one. Big surge of OBV. Ooh. Yep, I like the look of that. There's a lot of euphoria coming into earnings. It is nice to see. Let's see. I would wait. See if it holds support at 35 cents. And if it holds support at 35 and makes a turnaround, then I would take a buy on a MACD cross. If it breaks below, then I would set a limit order at about 30 cents plus change. If it's looking for, if you're looking for this one to turn around, but it does look as though it's getting ready to establish some higher lows. So, if such is the case, your trend will look like nya. So give it a little bit of time. That's my thinking. But I'm gonna go back and take a look at the Ortex on Stab and see what the shorts are, because I know there was a lot of short interest in this one. Oh, not as much as I thought. Oh, I do see that the shorts exited, though. That's interesting. There's a whole bunch of them that exited all the way down here. Yep. Price popped and shorts entered. And now they're getting out. So whoever shorted this at the top here made a nice chunk of change. Interesting. Seems like an interesting penny play. I'll watch it, but I'm not going to take any positions here. Not yet. Anyway. Let's see. We got about 12 minutes before the market closes. Let's see what else we've got here. 90% of AMC owned by retail. Relax and accumulate. Yeah, that is the idea. What's the latest on the BBIG spinoff? I don't know. It's supposed to come in Q2, so sometime before July. I'm assuming that that's part of why the July calls are so heavy. Well, looks like Stab is breaking down for that to retest that 35 cents, like I was saying. Thoughts on Nile? I'll take a look at Nile. Looks like it's getting ready to turn around now. That was that big dip load up area. Just one final shakeout before it makes a move up. I'll go ahead and draw this. I'll go ahead and draw this channel. Yep. Falling wedge. I'm interested to see what it does once it reaches this Fibonacci time zone. It's been in a distribution pattern for a very, very long time. Keep in mind, this is an over-the-counter ARCA stock, so it's not very well regulated. This was always a risky play from the get-go. If it is going to turn around, it's probably going to turn around soonish, just based on where it is with the trend. So, and it does look like it's reversing a little bit today. It just kind of had a deep sell as of late. Excella. Excella is becoming volatile on the news. Saw that their buyback announcement was well received, and there was something else that was mentioned about it. Trying to recall exactly what that was. See if I can pull that up out of the Swing Plays DD thread. Yeah, that's right. Excella signed with Europe's largest financial enterprise in a multi-year deal, according to Excella Technologies. So that's a very bullish announcement from them. It traded pretty high leading into the opening bell. I'm still looking for Excella to finish this consolidation period and break out of this channel. Once it does, then I will consider taking a position. But if you're willing to wait for it and hold on for a while, then, I mean, it's a good load-up zone. This has been the consolidation area that I was already looking at for quite some time. You want to see a volume fixed profile on this one. All this selling volume down here, or, well, up here, I should say. This stock got hammered badly. But I'm going to wait. If there's any way to support Hell's Trading Floor subreddit, let us know how we can help. Sure, dude. The best way to support the subreddit, which we just opened, by the way, if you want to be a part of the subreddit, the best thing to do is just to contribute good due diligence. If you see excellent due diligence from another community, cross-post it there. If you want to contribute good original due diligence, please post it there. The idea of Hell's Trading Floor's subreddit is that it's going to be a central community for publishing vetted DD, and what I am personally going to go through each of the due diligence posts, and I'm going to vet them and take a look at them and make sure that the due diligence is accurate. I will curate it and help people make corrections and look for opportunities in the market, which we can then publish and keep everybody honest, for one, and two, keep everybody accurate. Because the main thing that I find retail doing that hurts it is that everybody gives in to these emotional trades. Everybody keeps like just regurgitating bad information, and I'm so tired of seeing it happen. So Hell's Trading Floor is going to be a place, as is our Discord community. It's going to be a solely research-focused community. So that's the purpose of the DD thread. Anything that's posted by an original member of Hell's Trading Floor will be eligible to get the flare. And anybody that consistently contributes will add more and more to it so that people know who to trust in the community. And that way people can, at a glance, see who is a good, solid researcher and contributor that is consistently making the right sorts of calls in the community and helping everybody make good, informed trades. Look out below on the SPY. Somebody else... Oh, yeah, there's the weakness that I was looking for. I was hoping for that. Let's see. I want to take a put position. Is C-Dub in here? C-Dub, I need your SPY wizardry. Or Verde. But you guys are like magicians, so I want your opinions. Speak up. No, I'm on my own. Okay, I'll go ahead and make my own damn SPY trade. Fine.
Jordan was showing weakness on the SPY earlier. He was pointing that out. So it's not a bad bet, and Logical is thinking about taking out some puts as well.
Looking at the volume profile on the 4 hour, there's a lot of volume at that level it's at now, so I'd expect it to struggle to get through that.
Just saying, it dropped almost 1% since I said, not financial advice.
Yeah, it got up to that, like 430-ish, and then just turned around, just like you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excellent call.
Good for me, though. I entered some Intel puts, some YOLO puts for tomorrow to see what happens.
One thing that I kept talking about in the Discord for the last couple of days is I want to see what Roku does earnings tonight. I'm so curious to see after catastrophic Netflix reaction. Really curious to see what Roku does.
All right. Well, let's get the flow up. Let's go take a look at the flow really quickly because I've only got minutes to do this if I'm going to take this trade.
2.5 to be exact.
2.5. All right. So this has to be a really fast trade. Let's go look at the SPY flow.
I mean, do keep in mind that reactions to earnings are a coin flip, so, I personally hold a few puts, which are obviously now Ater. I bought them this morning, so they're 25% down.
Wow, holy shit. Holy shit, look at this flow. Oh my god. Oh, wow. All right. Yeah. The market says nope. Market says nope. Wow, what an overwhelming amount of bear flow. Okay. Well, that tells me all that I need to know. What's your strike? Not financial advice. What's your strike and expiration, Verde? I'm taking it.
I have 65 puts for May the 6th, so I'm just playing the reaction. Gonna get rid of them tomorrow morning.
All right. What's the strike?
65. There was an alert for that on Unusual Whales, I think, an hour into the market as
65. I'm looking at SPY. I'm not playing.
Oh,
Roku.
sorry. I'm not playing SPY. For SPY, I have 400 for May the 2nd, but they're really, really down.
Well, good. Then I'll.
I'd be looking for SPY to break that 426 range. Is that what it is? 426.50-ish? If it breaks underneath that, I mean, you could probably see a test back into that channel the whole way to the bottom edge, 420-ish.
It's found 420 a lot.
I'll test
it. With all of us trading it.
I know, right? That's probably part of it. But
oh no, pattern day trader. I got fucking blocked. My trade will not go through.
Alright, I just demonetized. Verde strikes again. What can I
How many
sell?
seconds do I have to make my trade?
3, 2,
9, 8, 7.
SPY can still, you can still trade SPY in 15 minutes in the after
15 minutes after.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You got 15 minutes.
Oh, cool. All right.
Round 3.
Overtime.
No. Nope, it's not going to let me trade it. I'm below the threshold for pattern day trading, so.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scream. Sorry. Intel already hit 45.
Ready? What?
You long or short on
Roku beat.
No way it beat.
Yeah, it beat. It's up already.
5% up. No way.
Intel missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it was a miss on immediate, like the immediate stuff, but then their guidance is a little bit better than what they thought.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be able to trade SPY. I can't even enter a position. Fucking Fidelity. Pattern day trading requirements. Okay. Well, it's not the end of the world. It's just
Wow, Hood
frustrating
missed
for my-
bad.
Let's go watch Hood burn.
They got slapped already.
Ooh.
Ooh, you love to see it. You love to see it.
Everybody
Oof.
spit on Hood as you pass by.
On the way out.
They said
Wow.
Amazon missed too, down 9%.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I'm so frustrated that I didn't get a SPY put. Fidelity, I'm below pattern day trader requirements, and my other account, I don't have any. I don't have any more instant deposit liquidity.
I'm using a cash account and got no settled funds. So, yeah. The second SPY opportunity I've missed today.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that I called it, guys, but I fucking called it.
Wow, Intel's jumping all over the place right now.
Oh my god. What? Holy shit.
It's snapping $2.50. It's like 46.5 to 44 back and forth.
It's barcoding.
That's insane.
hilarious.
It's barcoding a $2.50 spread.
Barcoding for
Logical. Have a look at Roku again.
Oh wow.
That's nuts.
Roku's
Wow,
doing
man,
all
Roku's
kinds of stuff.
that one.
Roku's going nuts too. What the hell? 98.67 to 84.
Are they digesting like guidance or something right now? Is that what happened? It probably hit on the beat, and then guidance is bad or something.
Probably. Or it could be something as stupid as they lost subscribers. Roku down 15%. Down 10. This is some volatile shit.
That's pretty amazing. Wow, I really wish I could have gotten that SPY position. I hate you, Fidelity. I hate you.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
What are you looking at?
Look at what I just posted in live
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, that like the thing I'm listening to right now is saying that like they made like they beat on their immediate responses, but they're thinking that there's something inside the filing that is buried in there that they found late.
All right. Let's bring it back, guys. I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the... I'll go ahead and continue tracking on the stream.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the call-outs anyway. I wish that I could have gotten some of these positions. Would have been fun to play the SPY to the downside.
Oh, there goes Roku back up.
It's fun to watch, I gotta say. All right, let's see.
85.
So
86,
SST.
87.
All right, SST. It hit its high at 1482 today. I think that was first thing in the morning, and it sold off ever since then. But this one's got the real potential. from what I can see as far as squeeze plays go. They've been fighting a MACD cross all day long today, so I'm expecting it to turn around as soon as we get that MACD cross. It ran in after hours yesterday, so we might get something similar today. Now that the hedge funds have been able to load up. Always have to hold the door open for the big money. BRQS is taking a little bit more pain today, so it's not quite ready to run, but it usually does this in the first opening hours of after hours. And then by the time trading overseas in the Pacific starts, that's about the time that it starts to run in the morning. I was looking at BRQS compared to the Shanghai exchange, and there is in fact correlation that as soon as the Chinese market opens, that's when BRQS runs. It always runs during pre-market in the U.S. and slash the opening of Chinese market, which I find pretty hilarious. ALZN still consolidating, which is annoying. I wish it would stop consolidating and just go already. But anyway, I'm watching ALZN to the upside of $2. If it can break this channel and falling wedge. That is true, yes. Tony Smith, ALZN did rip this morning. Not sure if I pointed that out at all, but yes, it did run all the way to $1.10 this morning. It was kind of nuts. Calls on this one are super cheap, but they're also very unlikely to run in the money. $2.50 till August is the lowest strike you can play. Let's see what else.
Hey, TD, check out Amazon. They missed on earnings.
All right, let's look at Amazon. Oh no.
Just a small miss.
Oh wow.
Can I just say Verde, I called that one too.
Oh wow.
What a crater. Jesus.
Just a small little itty bitty miss.
Wow.
That's a bloody crater.
I can't believe I missed this freaking I really can't believe that I missed this opportunity. SPY is getting hammered right now. These earnings plays are killing it.
Wait, were you talking about Amazon's major dip? Is that what you called out?
Yeah, Dave said he called that one out.
I'm pretty sure Kramer picked that in the stock picks today.
I was saying that, like,
I did. I saw that.
I was going based on the poor Netflix, people like unsubscribing from these like streaming services. I thought took it as a sign that people were getting back to more of a real life than a virtual one we had.
All right. I'm checking out a couple more plays.
I didn't have any money to play it anyway. So.
All right. CEI is consolidating still.
I'm not sure I would have done with the earnings anyway, just in general.
All right, let's see. Some folks were asking about CEI. Looks like it's still consolidating. It's down in this wedge currently. Following this top to this bottom, it looks like it's coming close to the end of it. Early May is where this closes, so might get some volatility coming back into it, but don't know. There's actually quite a few oil stocks that are being played by the Discords, so who knows? Maybe CEI will make its move. But I'm not holding a position at the moment. Okay, let's see. Trying to catch up with chat. Hood, already talked about Hood. It's fun to watch burn, though, yes. When does the Chinese market open? See, the Shanghai Stock Exchange starts trading at 9:30 Shanghai time.
There's 4 in China, I believe. Shanghai, Shenzhen.
Yeah, it's currently 4 a.m. over there right now. So in about 5.5 hours, or 5 hours and 15 minutes, is when the Shanghai market opens. And then that market, the market actually closes right around the time that the U.S. pre-market starts, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, so Shanghai market closes at exactly the time that the U.S. exchange pre-market opens. Conveniently. So everybody who's still trading in Shanghai after 4 p.m. local time, they're usually up a little bit after trading in the U.S. markets.
There are a few countries in between as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the market's not as big.
All right, let's see. What else we got? Thanks, guys, for hanging out and watching the stream with us. I'm trying to catch up with everybody else just to see if there's any other plays that people were curious about. CFVI, CFI Acquisition Corp. Is this a SPAC? Looks like a SPAC. Definitely a SPAC. A very volatile one by the look of it. No, it's only moving between $10 and $16, so it's not that big. Let's see, a 30 million share float, $450 million market cap, and let me go check short interest. Somebody said that this was YouTube's competition. I don't know anything about them, but CFIV is Rumble and merging with DWAC. Oh, okay. I gotcha. All right, that explains it. I see. Shorts piled into it when it IPO'd, smashed it down, and then covered. They've been playing in it a little bit, but not really a whole lot. At the time, short interest of the free float was $2 million. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, I don't know anything about it, but I will look into it. I need to make sure that I get off ahead of my meeting, so I'm gonna probably check out just one more ticker. Let's see, who's it gonna be?
Did you do Facebook already?
No, I didn't look at Meta. Yeah, that article really screwed some people. The Bloomberg article that got published and pushed the price down just before earnings, and then it turned right around. That felt like a great big lie, didn't it? Ricky Ray, thanks for the $2. You don't have to keep using super chats just to get a message to me, though. I appreciate it. What's the update with ATER? Didn't I update on ATER? Well, I'll go over it again. It looks like it's consolidating. It's basically doing this really wonky looking cup and handle. If you look out on the a little bit further out on the 2-hour chart, you can see a slightly bigger cup and handle, but it's a very long one. But this would be your cup and the handle, and we'll see if we get continuation and a breakout. If it does, then we might be able to expect a move beyond $8, which would be fantastic. It'd put a lot of calls in the money. And we're also looking at MACD cross, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, MACD is about to cross here. So, oh wow, ATER just moved up to $5 in post market. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm looking based off of. Ugh, God. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. So excited, I forgot what ATER was trading at all day. So the consolidation's continuing. It's holding at $5 right now, but hopefully it'll break to the upside. We can get back up out of this pennant and move into this channel. I would like to see this thing trading at $8 so that we can put some of those May 20 options deeper in the money.
Roku is starting to move.
Roku, all right.
It's already up to 97.
Might as well watch that one burn as well.
That was quite the turnaround.
Yeah, it played quite a bit with my emotions. So I must admit.
Doc's a Fox, I'm sorry for getting you too excited. I'm sorry. I got myself too excited. It was unjustified excitement. But I still have faith in ATER. Just, expect them to try and put a little bit of pain on it after hours. The market's going to push things down a little bit. But hopefully we can turn things around sooner rather than later. Okay. Is there anything else? All right, I will close on BBIG because it's the other squeeze play that I think is a imminent threat to the shorts. I guess I didn't have it up here. CYM was impressing me too. I'm not in it though. If I'm not in it, I'm not interested. I'm just kidding. All right. So BBIG on the 5-minute. It had a very deep dip back down to its support down at $2.20, and then it ripped from there to the rest of the day, and now it's closed at about the same price where it opened today. What we are looking to see BBIG do is break out of this wedge that it's been in for, God, how long? Oh, God, how long? Yeah, broke below this trend and support that I had set, and now it's getting ready to get back up onto trend. So BBIG is one that I feel is pretty imminent. Just waiting on that announcement. I've already loaded up on my calls. For those that are inevitably going to ask me, I'm playing $2.50 strikes for July 15th. That's not a recommendation to buy. I'm just letting you know what my position is for the sake of disclosure. John Bennett, no, I'm not out of Mullen. I still have a Mullen position. It is down, but I still have it. I have a call position for $2 for June 17th. That is also not a recommendation to buy. I just see that it's consolidating, so I decided to take up a position that I thought might pan out for me. But I think that's going to have to be it for me today. Thanks, guys, for coming by and viewing the stream. Hopefully, I'll be able to keep doing this consistently and keep you all up to date on some of the plays that Hell's Trading Floor is working on. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a hell of a time in the markets.